Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel. We are Millennial Mom. If you don't know who is who, I'm Millennial. This is Mom.
Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, I'm Mom from Millennial Mom. Millennial will join me again soon in the future. She has work obligations. But I'm here to talk about Love After Lockup Season 4, Episode 19, Always the Bad Guy. But before I begin, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And also we have a membership if you would like to join. And the information is in the description box. All right, so let's get to it. So let's start off with Deontay and Lindsay. Every week there's something with all the couples, yes. But it just seems like some couples tend to stand out. And one of those couples for me is Deontay. So Lindsay and Blaine are on their way to their construction job. So if you remember from last week's episode, Blaine got Lindsay a job. Well, I guess he didn't get her a job. He hired her for the construction place he works with, or maybe he's the person that does the hiring, or maybe it's his own company. Anyways, Lindsay works for him now. So they're getting their stuff together. It looks like they're renovating like an office warehouse or whatever it looks like. And Lindsay says, you know, she's got these warrants to take care of, which we learned last episode, really when she first got on the show. She says that she's going to take care of those warrants in her own time. You know, right now she's focusing on work, on her daughter, you know, getting a paycheck. But then she also says that, you know, even though she's only making $10 an hour, when she was, you know, selling those pharmaceuticals, she was making a lot more money. But see, Lindsay, here's the key. The key to this is you have to do something that's legit, that didn't get you, you know, in prison the first time. So if you have to do this for right now, and besides, your buddy, your bestie, got you the job in the company that either he owns, works for, or knows somebody at. So right now, you're good. And Blaine has said to Lindsay before in a roundabout way that he liked her, had feelings for her. But today, he made that specifically clear that he's always had more feelings for her than he let on. And I think deep down that Lindsay kind of knows this. While they're doing the construction, while they're doing renovating, Lindsay's phone rang. And Blaine says, for 600, I wonder who that is. Well, of course it's Deontay, right? So Lindsay answers the phone. It's like, hello? And Deontay's like, well, where you at? She's like, oh, I'm working. And I'm sure Lindsay told Deontay she's working today and where to pick her up at, right? So he's like, well, give me the directions and I'm going to come get you. I'm close by. She goes, well, you know, let me know when you're close because I can change here, right? And so he's like, okay, cool. So when Lindsay gets off the phone, that's when, again, Blaine is saying, you know, you're going to hang out with him and this and that. And Lindsay's saying how she's like, kind of like overwhelmed because he keeps calling. But she's been saying this entire time. She doesn't like the fact that she's being smothered. I guess Deontay calls like 1 o'clock, 1:15, 1:30, 1:45, 2:15. That's just what I'm getting from him. Like he calls all the time and she's not here for that. She just, you know, she feels like she's being controlled or smothered or kind of like a parent relationship, like scolding you if you not pick up the phone. Just all kind of reasons as to why she's not necessarily feeling this relationship with Deontay right now. So while her and Blaine are talking and Blaine is like getting his feelings out for Lindsay, little do they know Deontay has already pulled up. He's already peeking inside the building and actually sees them share a kiss. He's back in the car. He texts Lindsay, talk about I'm here. And they were like, that's fast. Yeah, it was, because when he called the first time, he was probably like down the block. Then Lindsay changes clothes, gets in the car. And when she gets in the car, there's already silence. Not silence, but it was awkward. Because Deontay's not telling her what he saw. And Lindsay's like, oh, here we go. Like, what are we going to talk about now? He's going to talk to me to death. Stuff like that. That's how it comes across. So Deontay's like, so what's going on, man? What's up with you? She's like, oh, nothing, you know. He's like, oh, okay, so how come I don't hear you from you for a couple days at a time? And then Lindsay's phone goes off, and it's a text. And he's like, well, who's that? She's like, Blaine. He's like, well, you don't answer my call that fast. Like, what's up with that? And the conversation from that point forward just goes all the way left. You know, he gets to carrying on, talk about, you know, I'm here for you. You don't make time for me. He goes, I'm really trying to put up with you being in someone else's house. And that sets off Lynch. She's like, well, what do you want me to do? Sleep in the car? He goes, well, if it was me, I would do whatever it takes to do what I need to do. Move out of my mama's house, go somewhere else. She goes, well, I'm not you. She goes, and this is your third inmate. You ought to know better than that by now. I was like, boop, drop the bomb. And Deontay was like, man, why you gotta go there? But in reality, it's true. Like, This is your third inmate, at least the third that we know about. And as much as I don't want to say this, and I'm going to say this again with another couple, that Lindsay kind of got a point with this just a little bit. Just a little bit. This is your third inmate. You ought to know what's up. Like, you ought to know if someone's being truthful with you, someone's playing you for cash, money, whatever. Then Deontay comes to a stop with traffic. Lindsay gets out the car, starts walking back the other way, calls, I'm guessing, Blaine to come pick her up, right? And Deontay's like, man, you don't want to talk to me? You don't want to talk? I mean, if someone get out your car, clearly they don't want to talk. But anyways, so Deontay gets out his car, follows Lindsay. She's sitting down, waiting for her ride. And he pulls out all the letters that Lindsay has sent. You know, he's like, I kept all this for you. I kept all these, you know, to remind me the type of relationship you have. And Lindsay just looking like, yeah, okay. The letters get thrown in the air. Lindsay walks off. She's waiting for Blaine. And I'm like, look, Deontay, this time, third time is not the charm. So back to Kevin, Tiffany, and Kayla. Kevin and Tiffany are wrapping things up with the lady that they want to, or thinking about having a threesome with. While they're in the car, they decide, well, she's not the one. She's nice, she's sweet, but she don't feel like she'd be a good fit with that. But this whole time, while they're talking, and even though Kevin had got all these text messages last week from Kayla, like, he still didn't put two and two together. Kayla was like in the area. So then Kevin drops Tiffany off at work, right? And then Kayla's trying to contemplate, like, maybe I should go in there and whoop her butt and tell her this is my man, all this and that. See, my thing with that is she's wrong. She's mad at the wrong person. You need to be focused on Kevin, okay? Well, I mean, why do you think, this is for Kayla, like, Kayla, why do you think cameras are following Kevin? Then Kevin drives around and sees Kayla sitting in her car. He's like, hey, what you doing following me? And here goes Kayla. And Kevin is so manipulative. I don't think it would matter what Kevin had to say, that he could rein Kayla back in, because I think Kayla and Kevin have a strong sexual chemistry, and that Kayla loves Kevin, like she says, so much that she would do anything for him. So I think that Kevin knows that he could get away with this stuff. So, you know, he's like, she's yelling and carrying on. He's like, girl, get in this car. You out here telling people our business. People don't need to know. So when she gets in the car, she's like, what you doing up here with this bead, this and that? He's like, calm down. This is not what you really mean. Then he starts to lean in and kiss her, and she's fell into that. She's kissing him back and stuff. And that's all Kayla needs. That's what it seems like. She just wants his attention, his affection, and to feel like she's the only one. Because in Kayla's words, she's not trying to be a side chick. She wants to be the main chick. And he's out here with all these other trash behind bees that he could be with. So then after that, Kayla and Kevin go back to the house. So I guess they're planning to do whatever it is that they do. Kevin gets some wine together. They have a little bit of wine. And then he gets in the shower. And Kayla grabs Kevin's phone while he's in the shower, cracks the door a little bit, videotapes Kevin, talking about, hey, baby, you about done? You taking too long, you know, soaping up yourself and all this and that. Making a video for Tiffany. Then she also takes a video of the bed, talk about, this is where I lay to do my thing, B. Kayla's like, you know what? I hope this, you know, messed up that relationship. You know, I'm going to send this to her so she knows this is my man. This is me. You know, she could pretty much kick rocks. So then she's like, you know, I'm not going to tell Kevin that I did this, because she knows if she did, Kevin would be just all the way, just again, manipulative, trying to control her, bring back the situation again. Before she sends the message to Tiffany, the one thing that Kevin says is that he realizes that Kayla loves him. They've been together for a long time, and that Kevin's also been in prison for 7 years. And when he got out, that's how he met Kayla. But Kayla broke his heart because she cheated on him, and they just really haven't been on the same page ever since. But see, Kevin brushed past that. Like, he's been in prison for 7 years? For what, Kevin? Let us know the scoop now. We want to know, was Love After Lockup really based on you first, but then Tiffany came along and then Kayla fell through? Or what's up? But anyway, Kayla sent that video message to Tiffany, and Tiffany looked like she was on her way home from work. She gets the message, and she's like, you know what? Thank you, Kayla. Now I know that Kevin is not but a lying hoe, and I don't got to deal with it no more. So back to Branwen and Chaz. Branwen is still at the little coffee shop or whatever, talking with her friend about Chaz, and how Chaz has been in contact with someone named Tani, which is Brenwyn's friend's friend, talking about, Brenwyn's back doing what she used to do on these adult websites, and maybe she's doing, selling herself for a good time. Chaz got wind of this, so he's going to go see Brenwyn at the coffee shop. When he gets to the coffee shop, he brings in flowers to Brenwyn. She goes, give those to Tani. He's like, what do you mean? She goes, I don't want that. Give it to Tani. Because you've been talking to her and whoever else you've been talking to online. And she's like, you just need to get out of here. Chaz walks out the door, throws down those flowers, and is like, I can't believe this. He says his feelings are hurt and he really wants his marriage to work. And Brenwyn leaves the cafe with her friend. She goes, I can't think about this. I just want to go straight home and forget about this. And then I think she thinks Chaz has left, but he walks back up to her, behind her. He goes, Brenwyn, I'm sorry. She goes, no, go home. Go do what you do. Brenwyn's over. She is not trying to hear a thing that Chaz has got to say. Because here's the thing that tripped me out. Brenwyn says in her confessional, I just can't believe he would do this. I can't believe that he would just go and get these messages from Tani. And I'm thinking, for real, when you just got a phone call from Ulodi, whatever his name was last week, who's going to come see you, your first love that's got out of prison, Brenwyn, come on. Just tell Chaz this is not what you want. I think you want Chaz for the fairy tale, the house, the white picket fence, the job, to, keep you on the straight and narrow, but deep down, that's not what you want. You still trying to be out here with your friends doing the lifestyle that you was in before. And Chaz is a little too, what you call him, like a little soft butterfly? Yeah, so you already know that's not getting it. Next up, Taylor and Chance. So they're out looking at wedding venues, and I also think that Chance manipulates Taylor because Taylor comes across to me as lovesick. I think Taylor would be in love with anyone who gave her just a little bit of attention. I still think that she's reeling from her past fiance who unfortunately passed away, and I think she's trying to fill that void for herself and her girls. Now that Chance has come along, I think that he's manipulating that situation. And I definitely think so between her with Taylor and Bobby too, like, having Bobby out in that garage and stuff, trying to, keep Bobby away and just only have Taylor because for whatever reason he's trying to do that. Like I mentioned, they're out looking at wedding venues, and it's a DIY kind of thing, the wedding coordinator said, and they could, bring in their own decorations, stuff like that. And while they're looking, Taylor is paying attention, but Taylor always has her mind on how much does things cost, can we afford it, and little things like that, because she also has her mind too about the truck that he bought and just different little things that he's buying without telling her, that's dipping into the finances. She's worried that they can't afford all this stuff. And she's also nervous that she's pregnant and doesn't know how he's going to react to her pregnancy. So after they look around the property, they're outside talking, and Chance is saying, yeah, this is a good idea. We should do this. He's talking about the investment house. That blindsided Taylor. He goes, we could, either live in that house and rent yours out and flip it and just do all kind of things, trying to get Taylor to see, like, I have this perfect credit report and I got all these credit cards and we could do this and we could do that. And Taylor's like, no, like, pump the brakes. I need stability, and you spending all this money isn't it. And then she finally gets the nerve to tell him that she's pregnant. And then Chance is like, well, we need to get married now. And she's like, no, I'm worried we don't have the money, the cash. And Chance tells her, you know what? I'm tired of living the way you want to live. I'm not going to want you to hold me back anymore, because if you hold me back, then we'll never get anything done. And I'm like, when he's saying all this to Taylor, this is not helping Taylor feel like she has confidence in Chance. Because like I said, Chance just wants Taylor for the investment part of it. He's older than her and she's younger, and I know that he can see that she's got these girls, she's got her sister, and he wants to just, again, manipulate that situation. But also too, in this episode, we learn that Bobby is coming home soon from the rehab center. So they're at home, they're telling the girls that, oh, Aunt Bobby's coming home. And one of her daughters says, oh, she is? And she says, so where's she gonna stay? She gonna stay in here or she gonna stay outside? Now see, even the little girl knows that her aunt staying in the garage isn't it where it needs to be, right? And so Taylor goes, oh no, she's staying in here. And Chance's like, yeah, she's gonna stay here. We think it's better for her. He don't, because even when Chance was looking at another house to get for them to move into, he was still thinking about how can I renovate that garage for Bobby. So hopefully Bobby comes home and she gets healthy from this rehab and not be triggered from the things that's going on in that household. Next up, Britney and Ray. So today is the day of Britney's Bachelorette party. And she can't even get out the door without giving demands or telling Ray what she wants to have done. Now, I don't know how Ray does it. Britney is constantly talking to him like he's a kid, like he don't know better, like he don't have common sense. But this is going to be your husband. She's like, you know what? I got my bachelorette party, but when you go to your party, you need to behave. You need not to be drunk. You need to think about the consequences. You need to think about my dad not giving the blessings. And Ray said, you know what? Just worry about you. I got this. He goes, I'm not worried about your dad or nothing like that. I'm doing what I need to do. You just worry about yourself. And Brittany's like, well, we just need to be focused on the right thing, so they don't have nothing to say. And Ray's saying like, regardless, I know what to do. I know how to, control myself. Again, you just make sure that you do. To me, that's already ruined the fun. Like, you can't even enjoy your own bachelorette party. You can't even go there to have fun without thinking, what's he gonna do and all this and that. Like controlling the narrative, that is not, that's not cool, right? So Brittany gets to her bachelorette party and it looks like it's just like some appetizers, some champagne and like a little restaurant type area. And Ray goes to a strip club. He says, before he went to prison, he used to make it rain and be in a strip club, wilding out all the time. But now, he's just going to go there, chill, relax, and have a good time. He's just trying to get married and just, do the husband thing, come together. He's not trying to be about all that. While Brittany at the same time is worried about him coming home smelling like Bath and Body Works perfume, cheap stuff, in her words, right? So Ray's at his bachelor party, like I said, talking to guys, chilling, whatever. And Brittany is, having a little bit of conversation about Ray at hers. But that was really about it for those scenes for this week. But I'm sure that we're going to see coming up that Brittany's going to ping Ray's phone to find out where he is and make an appearance. Because you know what? Brittany has done this before in their season when they was on the first time, when he was at his friend's house having a drink and just trying to play cards and dominoes and chill. When she comes busting up at the door, talk about, who is this? Where you at? I'm trying to make sure you're not with no kingpin, stuff like that. To me, Brittany is very insecure when it comes to Ray. It just can't just be about the restitution. I just think she's insecure about that relationship and maybe what he might or may not do, or maybe herself. Shoot. So next week or the week after, I'm sure she's going to show up and I'm here for it. Last but not least, we have Puppy and Amber. So Amber decides to have a get together at her house with her boyfriend TC, his two sons who she's meeting for the first time, Puppy, Eric, Queen, and just a bunch of people as a get together, I guess, to welcome the kids for the first time so that they can meet and, to be, this could be their potential new family. So as TC comes in with his boys, Queen comes in, they're like, oh, so what you make? Amber says, I made steak, I made shrimp, we got a salad, just all kind of stuff. Food sounded like it was good, right? So then Puppy and Eric come in, and so far everything is cool. Everyone seems like they vibing, talking and chilling. Amber goes outside to check on the food along with TC, and then while she's out there, Eric's phone goes off, his text goes off, and it's Heather, his wife. And he shows Puppy the text that Heather sent. And Puppy's like, what's she doing calling your phone? Well, that's when Puppy learns that Amber reached out to Heather, to find out what was going on. So when Amber comes back in the house, all hell break loose. She goes, what are you doing reaching out to Heather? And at first Amber's like, what are you talking about? And Puppy said again, like, what are you doing calling Amber? She goes, no, I didn't call her. I reached out on Facebook. And to me, same difference. Whether you called her or reached out on Facebook, you reached out. And Puppy's like, why did you do that? Like, you supposed to be, my friend, you're supposed to be down with me. And when I tell you, once again, another conversation goes left real quick, man, Amber is so pumped up, so is Puppy, talking about, look, B, I was there for you. I want you to know what's going on, the ins and outs. You need to be with a better dude. You need this, you need that. And Puppy's like, you know what? Just let me do me. I know what I'm doing. I know what's going on. I know he's still married. He goes, no, he's supposed to file for a divorce. He's supposed to, leave her, be with you, and all this stuff. and all this other stuff. Puppy said, that is my boyfriend. I will do what I want to do. And then it got to the point where Amber lunged at Puppy, lunged at her, and tried to choke her. That's when Puppy and Eric leave, and TC and his sons leave. He's like, I'm not down with this. Let's go. Even Puppy get outside. She's like, I can't believe Amber would do this. I just can't believe it. And she's telling this to Eric too. He's like, see, I told you. See, now Eric's like, I told you. I told you. She's like, we should have never came here. And Amber is animated when it comes to Puppy anyways, especially with her being in toxic relationships like the one she's in with Eric. But at the same time, Amber and Puppy's relationship to me is also toxic. Because Amber feels like she's got to protect Puppy. And I can see kind of like why she thinks that, because Puppy comes across like she can't make the best decisions, but I think she knows what she's doing. She just chooses not to make the best decisions, and that's the difference. Amber's upset that everybody left, because listen, everybody should leave. Because, I mean, what's the get together for? You didn't even get nothing to eat. Even Queen is like, you know what? Today was my brother's birthday, and I could have been over there instead of getting popped in my mouth. And so Queen is trying to comfort Amber, and she has her head in her hands, and she says, so what do you think that TC's going to think? You think it's over? And Amber said, yeah, probably. So later on, TC comes back, and he tells Amber, you know what? I can't be bothered with this. So I'm going to tell you right now, I need peace in my life, and this relationship is over. And Amber's looking. I'm like, ooh, it's over? And then he said, no, it's over between me and you, Puppy and Eric. Like, you know, they bring the drama. So clearly, Amber is told about the drama before. Even the drama from, like, the other day when they followed Eric to see where he was going. TC says, again, he wants peace in his life. You know, his boys grew up hearing yelling and screaming and all this stuff, you know, all their years growing up, and he's not trying to be in no type of relationship like that no more. So if she wants to be with that, then she need to be over there. If she wants peace, then she could be over here. And pretty much, I got my eye on you. Like, this can't continue if you want to be with me. And I don't blame him. You know, when you bring someone into your house, into your relationship with your children, you need peace in your life. You don't need them to be going through no other drama that you know, more than your own. You know what I'm saying? So I get that. And Amber does need to chill on that. If Puppy wants to make her mistakes with Eric, there's really, at the end of the day, nothing that you can do about it. So, well, everyone, that was the end of the episode. I always look forward to next week, because why does next week's episode always look better than the episode they showed you today? So, anyways, well, I'm also looking forward to Brittany and Marcelino. I'm trying to know what's going on with the ultimatum that Brittany gave him. So hopefully we'll see that next week too. So, all right, everyone. Thank you all again for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and share. And don't forget about that membership in the description box below. And we'll see you next week. And until next time, live simply, be grateful.